good evening. I hope you guys are doing well today. Welcome back. This is Prophecies of Polaris here again with another major energetic reading for you guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we pulled the Part of Fortune card, reading increase. And the Part of Fortune card is a sensitive Arabic point in astrology, indicating where you find natural success, joy, and prosperity. It represents the harmony between your big three, which is the sun, moon, and ascendant aspect in your natal chart. The house and sign placement show where you can easily attract abundance and experience ease in life with the Part of Fortune. Key aspects of the Part of Fortune in your natal chart is the significance. It reflects a very significant part of your being, which is your physical well-being in life, material success in life, and areas where you are supported. It often acts as a portal of fortune when you align your actions with its placement. So whenever you align your actions with the action that you're supposed to be aligned with, this acts as a portal of fortune for you. Alright, so fire signs, if you have a fire sign in your Part of Fortune, then that means that abundance comes through taking an initiative and enthusiasm and creative risk-taking. So your Part of Fortune will show whenever you take initiative in an enthusiastic and creative risk-taking way. If your Part of Fortune lies in an earth sign, then that means your abundance comes through discipline and practicality and stability. If your Part of Fortune is inside of an air sign, that means that it comes through, your abundance comes through networking, communication, and innovative ideas. If your Part of Fortune lies in a water sign, that means your abundance comes through intuition, deep emotional connections, and nurturing others. We also pulled the second house, which read owning. So that was a Part of Fortune representing where you find natural success, joy, and prosperity. And we pulled second house, which represents wealth and resources, family lineage, speech and expression, and food and habits. Planets in the second house, in other words, what makes you rich, right? Planets in the second house and their effects. If you have Mars in your second house, if your second house is in Mars, or Mars is in your second house, this brings aggressiveness or harshness in speech. If your Rahu is in the second house, that makes you secretive. If your K2 is in the second house, that creates detachment and isolation. The effect of Venus lying in the second house, your Venus being in your second house, creates an attractive presence and a charming voice. Mercury being in the second house, if your Mercury lies in your second house, that creates logic and clarity and control in your communication. If your Jupiter is in your second house, that is value in your speech, others gaining from your words. If your Saturn is in your second house, that creates seriousness, maybe forced smiles in an extended family system. role of the second house. The second lord, the ruling planet of the second house, acts like a GPS. It shows the pathway through which wealth flows into your life. Where it sits in your chart tells you how you can earn, sustain, and grow prosperity. Second lord in different houses. Second lord in first house, ascendant or self. Your personality itself attracts wealth. Self-improvement, discipline, and personal growth open the door to abundance. If you imitate others, your money path weakens. Second lord in second house, wealth itself. Strong inclination, save and hoard money. Must learn to spend wisely, invest in growth, not just accumulation. Family business, food-related industries, or consultation-based work brings success. Second lord in third house, communication and networking. Networking is net worth. Wealth flows through communication skills and social connections. The more visible and connected you are, the more opportunities you attract. Second lord in fourth house, home and comfort. Income comes from real estate, property, home-based businesses, or public-facing work. Best when connected to homeland rather than foreign lands. Second lord in fifth house, education and creativity. Hobbies, stock market, education, and creativity can turn into income sources. If you align your career with what you studied or love doing, abundance flows. Second lord in sixth house, service and struggles. Job, service, baking, finance, loans, or law bring money. Healing professions also become strong income sources. Caution, easy borrowing habits can create debt traps. Second lord in seventh house, partnerships and trade. Business partnerships, spouse, or joint ventures bring wealth. Trade, retail, and daily transactions are favorable. Second lord in eighth house, transformation and sudden events. Inheritance, insurance, or sudden wealth may come but rarely stays. Deep transformation in spiritual/occult fields can unlock prosperity. Financial stability generally comes later in life. Second lord in ninth house, fortune and higher learning. Teaching, consulting, spirituality, long journeys, or foreign connections bring wealth. Continuing the father's legacy can also be rewarding. Second lord in 10th house, career and authority. Mastery and authority in your career ensures stable income. Continuous learning and excellence keep wealth flowing. Second lord in 11th house, gains and expansion. One of the best placements, wealth flows through originality and creativity. The more you improve your own uniqueness, the greater your abundance. Second lord in 12th house, isolation and liberation. Money may come late in life after 40 plus. For connection, spirituality, and charity attract prosperity. Gratitude, isolation, and giving are the keys to wealth. Why the second house is the true house of wealth. Speech equals wealth. Sweet, respectful, and thoughtful words preserve money. Bitter or harsh speech brings instability. Discipline in eating and living. Careless habits drain resources, while mindful living attracts abundance. Stay true to yourself. The second Lord shows your unique money path. Copying others only blocks prosperity. Family and values. Good relations and ethical values ensure long-lasting wealth. Conclusion. Second house astrology insights. The second house is not just the house of money. It is the mirror of your life values, your family, speech, habits, and self-worth. By understanding its placement in the position of its Lord, you can discover why wealth comes or doesn't come, why money stays or slips away, and most importantly, how to activate prosperity by aligning with your true nature. In short, guard your words, respect your family, live with discipline, and follow your true path. Then watch how your second house activates and rains abundance into your life. Third house messages. Third house messages. The third house of a natal chart is traditionally ruled by the zodiac sign Gemini and its ruling planet Mercury. It is thought to be the house of intelligence and of all low-level information that somebody gets throughout his life. What's more, it also rules siblings, family, and relatives, and every other person that is near somebody, for example, neighbors. So far we have part of fortune representing natural success, physical well-being, material success, and where you find support. And we also pulled the second house card, the card of wealth, resources, family and lineage, speech and expression, food and habits. And now we are on the card pull third house messages. Owning natural success messages. The third house is also indicative of other person such as neighbors, other people nearby such as neighbors. Language, communication, technology, transport, early education, data processing, perception. The third house rules communication and technology. Correspondence, travel, and one's skills and talents are additionally referred to in this particular area of the natal chart. Having Mercury as its ruling planet, the third house is in charge of communication. Consequently, the house incorporates both the activities that surround communication and the technology that one employs to transmit knowledge. Phones, letters, and even little strolls to see a nearby companion are altogether subjects of the third house. Even television, radios, the internet, and daily papers form an imperative piece of mass communication. The third house rules transportation. That means broken phones, messages that never get sent, auto repair issues, or general inconvenience through speaking with nearby individuals can happen. If someone has rather malefic planets placed in the third house or unfavorable aspects associated with those planets, there can be issues regarding correspondence and transportation. Transportation is a subject that is referred to in this part of the natal chart, including both long-distance travel as well as short-distance travels. When positive planets are available in the third house, or when the aspects of those planets are beneficial, one can become quite a talented communicator. Unique abilities of discourse or expression are to be seen here as well. For example, positive aspects or planets in the third house can create a great painter, stone carver, a gourmet specialist, or even repairman. The third house rules early education. Additionally, early education and endeavors towards learning are favored by this house, which conveys how one processes and analyzes data. The third house directs school, at least until high school, and sets the foundation for learning, which is then taken over in later years by the ninth house instead. The third house additionally governs how one deals with standard practices in society. This includes everything from how you carry on when you go to the nearby grocery store to how you welcome your neighbor. It is our eyes and our ears how we recognize the world around us. The third house rules language. Watching which planets are situated in the third house can enable us to comprehend through what lenses we are seeing reality. Needs and wants to be educated are communicated through this third house as well. And also a considerable measure of issues surrounding how one uses of the web are to be seen here. Remember that it rules low-level correspondence and discussion. Thus, chit-chatting, social visits, and casual banter are certainly likewise spoken here. An active third house can make somebody a blogger, a data addict, an admirer of languages, or just somebody that likes a decent joke. We'll talk about our intellect, or more precisely about the third house, which is responsible for our intellect. The third house of the natal chart is a key house that reveals many aspects of your communication, learning, and relationships within the outside world. This house determines your communication style, your mental abilities, your interests, and your attitude towards learning. The third house is associated with short trips, close relatives, and your ability to analyze information. The properties that the third house has are the ability to set a platform for your communication and learning. It is associated with your ability to transmit information and to share information and knowledge. It indicates your logical skills and your analytical skills and your ability to learn. This house is a reflection of your connection with your family, your brothers and sisters, as well as your immediate surroundings and your immediate radius. It gives to a person the importance to determine your ability to express your thoughts and ideas. The importance of determining the determination of your ability to express your ideas and thoughts. If you have a strong third house, this indicates an ability to easily connect with people, and it makes it easy for you to speak in a persuasive manner, to be able to persuade others, and to clearly communicate your ideas to an audience. Your mental capacity and your ability to analyze and understand new information is dependent upon the state of your third house. Again, it is associated with short-term travel, such as trips to neighboring cities or short trips. The third house determines how successfully you will communicate during these travels to neighboring cities or short trips, and how much they will influence you in return. Additionally, the third house can indicate your relationships with siblings and close relatives. It can reveal how you interact with them and what dynamics are present in regard to these relationships. The third house of your natal chart plays a key role in shaping your communication style individually. Some examples of famous personalities include Barack Obama, former president known for his eloquence and ability to inspire his audience. Oprah Winfrey, known for her ability to emphasize a warm environment and a trusting atmosphere in conversation. Mark Zuckerberg, known for being an innovative idealist as well as an effective communicator when it comes to developing social networks, which is another aspect of the third house, relating to the third house. Another example of somebody with possibly a good third house is J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. This is an active third house example. If you have Aries in the third house, this is the planet of Mars. This can add energy. This makes you a persuasive and pragmatic communicator. Your words can be powerful, and they can have a powerful impact on others. You can stand out for your psychological insight. When you have Mars in the third house, you may have very intuitive abilities that come with a hidden motive. If you have Venus in the third house, this makes you an excellent communicator. You'll be able to find compromise with Venus in the third house really easily, and you'll be able to resolve conflicts. If you have Mercury in the third house, this makes you able to exchange information quickly and effectively. It makes you thirsty for knowledge and experiences. And if Cancer is in your third house, this is the moon. And this makes you strong in your emotional connection with others. Your statements when you communicate are thoughtful and they reflect your empathy. You may be more inclined to communicate with close relatives in your third house. The bottom of the deck, we had Sagittarius IC. Seeing the Sagittarius sign often signifies a period of adventure, optimism, and an insatiable desire for knowledge and freedom. The Sagittarius is represented by the Archer, which is a centaur with a bow and an arrow. The sign of Sagittarius encourages looking at the bigger picture and pushing boundaries. Here is what it means when you see the Sagittarius sign in a reading. Your birthday may be between November 22nd and December 21st. You may be seeing this during Sagittarius season. Something may be happening in Sagittarius season. Something happened in Sagittarius season. This brings a why not attitude to the reading, prompting spontaneity, fun, and open-mindedness. Alright, the symbol, the archer, represents a focus on higher learning and philosophy and targeting your goals. So you may be aiming for something, aiming for a natural way to bring your success into form. You may be looking for a way, to naturally express your work. To obtain natural success. It represents a quest for truth, wanderlust, and a need to break free from restrictions. Actionable advice. If you are seeing this sign, it may be a prompt to take a risk, travel, learn something new, or or approach a problem with more positivity. You're trying to see it from a higher perspective. You're trying to look at prosperity from a higher perspective, from a more natural perspective. From a more resourceful perspective. Internally stable perspective. Sagittarius is a fire sign ruled by Jupiter, making it associated with luck, enthusiasm, and expansion. Some of the themes that we've seen during the shuffle were Earth element, representing stability, Gemini, the sign of Gemini, so you guys may be Earth signs, you may be Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, or Gemini. I think, or you should pay attention to these aspects in your charts. Your birthday may be May 21st or June through June 20th. The third zodiac sign is Gemini, symbolized by the twins. You may be a twin. You may have a twin flame. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and it is an air sign. Gemini is known for being intellectual, curious, adaptable, and communicative. Often described as a fast-thinking social butterfly, their core, I think, highlights a preference for mental processing, communication, and analyzing information. Key traits and characteristics of Gemini's personality is charismatic, witty, and deeply curious about everything. Some of the strengths of Gemini are that they are highly adaptable, quick learners, excellent conversationalists, and versatile. Some of their weaknesses can be indecisiveness, nervousness, inconsistence, or easily bored due to a need for constant stimulation. The duality of Gemini is that they often display multiple facets of their personality, switching between social, energetic modes to quiet introspection. Gemini in relationships and life. The social life of Gemini may consist of a thrive on variety and conversations with anyone. Compatibility, often compatible with other air signs, Aries, as well as Aquarius. Preferences, they love music, books, magazines, and short trips, but dislike being alone or confined to rigid routines. Often known as the quintessential human sign, Gemini represents the bridge between the mind, emotions, and the intellectual world. We also see the second house owning during the shuffle. What does the second house represent? Again, wealth and resources, family and lineage, speech and expression, food and habits. Alright. It also shows whether money stays with you or slips away. A strong second house ensures harmony and backing from family. Your words have power to create wealth or destroy opportunities. Balance, mindful habits bring stability, while careless indulgence drains energy and wealth. Planets in the second house and their effects. Mars brings aggressiveness. Rahu makes one secretive. K2 creates detachment and isolation. Venus, a smiling, attractive presence. Mercury, clarity and control of communication. Jupiter, weight, wisdom, and value in speech. Saturn, seriousness, forced smells, and a very extended family system. The second house is the house of true wealth because speech equals wealth. Discipline in eating and living creates habits that are good for resourcefulness, and mindful living attracts abundance. And staying true to yourself allows your unique money path to flow. Copying others blocks prosperity, and family and values creates good relations and ethical values, ensuring long-lasting wealth. The The second house is your house. It's not just the house of money, it is the mirror of your life values, your family, your speech, your habits, and self-worth. Also, during the shuffle, we've seen the theme of the 10th house showing itself as well. Side note, guard your words, respect your family, live with discipline, and follow your true path. Then watch how your second house activates and rains abundance into your life. We saw themes of the 10th house. Reading the world. In astrology, this is your midheaven, known as your career or public relations, social status, and legacy house. It signifies one's ultimate life's work and professional achievements. It's governed by a Capricorn and Saturn. This house highlights ambition, authority, and public perception, representing your interaction with the wider world. Key aspects of the 10th house are career and ambition, public life and fame, authority and leadership, legacy and purpose, parental influence. Planets in the 10th house. If you have the sun sign and if you have the planet of the sun in the 10th house, your ambition is high, you're a natural leader, and you have high visibility into the public. If your moon is in the 10th house, you are an emotional investment. You have emotionally invested into your career and is often drawn to caring professions like healthcare or public-facing roles. If you have Jupiter in the 10th house, recognition for wisdom and potential success in teaching or leadership. The 10th house focuses on professional pursuits, success, and the reputation built over a lifetime. The 10th house deals with how the world sees you and your public image. The 10th house governs interactions with authority figures and your own capacity to be a leader. The 10th house represents what you contribute to society and what you will be remembered for. The 10th house, often associated with the mother or the more authoritative parent. The opposite house of the 10th house is the 4th house. While the 10th house is the outer world and public standing, the 4th house represents the private sphere, home, and inner life. 10th house and the world. This house dictates how you take your internal foundations and apply them into tangible results in the world. It is part of the earth houses, making it deeply connected to material achievement, hard work, and creating a lasting impact on society. Remember that the 10th house isn't the ruler of the brief and odd jobs that one takes to scrape by. It does not rule occupations where you are simply just another worker. Instead, these are issues of the 6th house. The 10th house is in charge of your vocation in life, your calling. It rules your cognizant strides towards dealing with something you adore and care for. The 10th house rules your contribution to society. The profession that is detailed in the 10th house is your dream job, the work through which you will develop into a more complete being, your own personal methods for advancement and accomplishment. These occupations are typically the independent work. An example that shows up pretty commonly when it comes to someone having planets both in the 6th and 10th house is that their 6th house rules the occupations that they have early in their lives, while the 10th house requires significant investment in time and effort. Saturn, the ruling planet of the 10th house, is the planet of time. It sets aside time for us both to discover what we truly love doing in our lives, and it creates the fundamental conditions where we can do what we set out to achieve. Slowly over time, the power of our vocation and careers are transferred to the 10th house. We never again need to function as tools for another person. Work and politics is additionally led by the 10th house. The way that the government treats you can likewise be seen through the condition of the 10th house, while additionally your own disposition towards them. The 10th house rules your dominant parent. Here you can also discover the relationships between all individuals who are in places of power in you. The 10th house also rules the more dominant parent of the individual. There has been a considerable measure of contention in the past on whether the 10th house referred to the father or the mother, yet it appears that the sexual orientation does not assume part of that decision. The 4th house, which is inverse to 10th house, is in charge of the parent that is more nurturing and has a close relationship with the child, a steady ground for he or she to venture on. The 10th house is the ruler of the parent that made the choices for the family, the one that was the leading figure, who could have been both a good example for the child and somebody to dread and fear. The 10th house rules your reputation. The 10th house is one that is mindful about how we appear to the general population. It represents our reputation and feelings of the people who watch us, and likewise how we are remembered when we pass away. Individuals with a considerable measure of planets in the 10th house will leave a profound effect after their death. And when essential planets are in conjunction with the midheaven, they may even turn out to be exceptionally acclaimed through their work. Remember that the proximity of malefic planets or ones with unfavorable aspects may make somebody remembered negatively. The world does appreciate people for their accomplishments, as well as judge them with a considerable measurable feedback. The 10th house rules positions of power. The last degrees of the 10th house that border the cusp of the 11th house are the ones that are rule governmental work, while they can also represent the individual's entryway into the world of power. Those degrees can mean a considerable measure of assistance from one's network of powerful people, ones that have a strong impact in the making of your vocation. Likewise, when planets are placed in this area of the natal chart, there is a very high chance that you will lead other individuals when you enter the age in your life where you become an expert in your field. The first degrees of the cusp are generally about creating your own particular career in the course you will follow, in your profession, and the fame you will derive from it. The 10th house rules your influence on others. Something else you can analyze through the 10th house is whether you will end up being an inspiration for other individuals, a guide, and guide them with your impact. It doesn't just include the legacy that you will leave behind, but also how important your efforts will be to your supporters. The 10th house gives one a great deal of opportunity to be fulfilled, and while ordinarily a single human can't achieve his or her maximum potential in one short life expectancy, by teaching and guiding others, an individual can affect lasting change through the people that they teach. The work that we put into the 10th house will remain despite the fact that our bodies may leave this earth. It is through the 10th house that we can contribute to our next lives. Tread carefully. Saturn rewards individuals who hold their pride in check, but it can also bring a great deal of inconvenience if you choose to use power to hurt those underneath you. Alright, let's summarize that. We have the part of fortune, which can show you where you can easily attract abundance and experience ease in life. We put the second house, which rules wealth and resources. We pull the third house, which rules communication, technology, and transportation. Early education. Bottom of the deck was Sagittarius, the sign. which represents fire element, luck, expansion in Jupiter, as well as philosophy. We saw things of earth element representing stability. We've seen the sign of Gemini with the quote, "I think," representing air sign, the twins. Adaptability, versatility, communication, mental processing. We've seen the second house again, representing wealth and resources. And we also seen the 10th house, representing the midheaven, representing career, public relations, social status, and your legacy. That is your reading. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got what you needed from that. And happy studies. Prophecies of Polaris is signing off.